Today we're gonna make fun of the very platform that we are sitting on, social media, and its harms. Turns out there was a research done, and these people are gonna talk about it.
They argue that there's too great a risk for the time children spend online, exposure to violence, self-harm, and commercial interests of big tech. Part of the plan, children under 13 may still access social media if their parent permits it after specific assessment. On enforcement, Denmark intends to use its national electronic ID system and develop an age verification app. Non-compliance by platforms could be fined up to 6% of global revenue.
That's smart. That's smart, man. And I think I don't really want to blame countries or authorities too much because social media is very new. It's like what? A little more than a decade old if you're thinking about it, right? If you're really thinking about it, since when it started getting popular and all. So I think the consequences of this are just being found out. And I was like 10 years old when I joined Facebook, but that was just to play fucking Farmville, you know? Remember that game? And at that time, it was very different from what it is today.
One major critique, I'm going to present the other side now. The ban is seen by some as a blunt instrument. It may not be effective to address the nuanced harms that could arise from issues of parental autonomy, children's rights. For example, analysts note that similar moves in Australia prompted over 140 academics to sign a letter warning that a rigid age limit too blunt an instrument to address the risks effectively. Rights and development arguments. Critics are asked whether outright bans impede beneficial use of social media, peer connection, identity formation, support networks, which research has shown can exist. The balance of harm versus benefit is contested. If children are blocked from mainstream social media, will they migrate to unregulated or more dangerous platforms? Will social isolation increase?
I'm not an expert on this matter, man, obviously, but I would argue no. Because go back to the times before social media. People were hanging out outdoors. And that's what we need to get back to doing, instead of doing this type of nonsense. The alternative option here should not be, if not social media, then what else on the internet's available? It should be no social media, motherfuckers. Get the fuck out of the door, alright? Go outside, do something there, instead of this type of bullshit. And it's just so far out, right? Like, people are not even considering that as an option. Oh, no social media? What about everything else on the internet? Is that better than social media? But what about no internet at all?
So why we shouldn't ban alcohol then? Everybody should have it. We shouldn't ban drugs. We shouldn't ban weed. Like, there's an age limit on those things for a reason. A kid that's 15 is not allowed to drink alcohol, depending on what country you're in. There's a reason for that, right? Same thing with certain drugs like weed or whatever. There's a reason for that. You're gonna be like, oh well, it's age of his brain development and stuff. You know, it's not healthy. Same thing for social media.
If you remember, back in the day, Facebook used to have an age limit of 18. Now, there was no actual source of verifying it. So, if you're like a 10-year-old kid, like I was, and you say that you're 18, it's totally fine, you know? No one's gonna give a fuck. That's how it was. But I was just playing games on Facebook, man, at that time. I wasn't really doing much, so as I said, those times were very different, and social media has evolved quite a lot since then, and some precautions need to be taken.